can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see.
Hello, my name is Oge and this is Victoria's Tales. Today I'm talking about David, a man we all know very well and a man after God's own heart. And because I'm talking about David, I'm talking to every man out there today. And the story, I don't know, you may be familiar with it, but in case you're not familiar with it, I'll just tell you all about it. Okay? Remember when Saul had an issue with David and David had to run for his life? Okay, he ran for his life and went to the land of the Philistine, and there the king liked David enough to tell him to join him in the battle against the Israelites, which David did. But apparently the commanders did not trust David, so the king had to send David home with his men. And David went home with his men. When they got back home, they found out that everything they had been stolen, including their wives and their children, and their homes were burnt down. And what did these men do? They were about 600 men plus David. These men all broke down and cried. I can just imagine 600 of them or 601 of them all crying, all men are crying. What a sight. But their loss was still great. They just had to cry. But after crying, Bible said that David encouraged himself in the Lord. David took strength from God and asked God, okay, God, what should I do? What next? Should I pursue them? Should I leave my wife with them? What should I do? And God told him, no problem. You just go after them and you will get back everything they have taken from you. And that's exactly what David did. He went after this man and he got back his wives. He had 2 wives as at then. He got back his wives and his children, and so did his men. And okay, yeah, that was David. That happened years ago. Why am I talking about it now? Why I am talking about it is because he was a very courageous man, and that's something we don't really see often these days amongst our men. No offense, but really that's true. So I'm here to encourage some man that it's about time you take courage. We need men in these times. We need men when things are not so good. You're like a rock. You're like a rock that we women get to lean on. So if you're weak, what can we women do? So I'm just here to encourage you. I'm not here to do any other thing apart from encouraging you, okay? We need men that can kneel down before God and ask God for strength like David did. He cried, yes, but then he asked God for strength. We need men who wouldn't consider a weakness to display their affection for their wives. And we need men who wouldn't think violence is a show of strength. Men that will protect their wives. Men that will not take pride in raping and molesting young girls. We need men that will respect women and treat them as sisters. We need men whose pride are not connected with how many women they have had sex with or how many hearts they have broken. We need men who will stand up for their families. We need men who will teach their children to love God. We need men who will not put their career above God and their family. We need men who will marry honorably, not a man and not men that will just put a woman in his house without actually consulting her father. Many men do this. I don't know whether it's to run away from bride price or for whatever reason, but I know that we need men who wouldn't do that, who will go through the due processes, go through the girl's father, and especially get God's approval. That's the white wedding I'm talking about now. Yes, it doesn't have to be big. There's no money, but it doesn't have to be big. You can just go to your pastor or whoever your spiritual authority is, and he can just join the both of you in marriage. Okay, we need men who would do that, marry honorably. We need men who will be faithful to their wives and not run after girls old enough to be, no, did I say old enough? Young enough to be their daughters. We need men who would teach their sons how to respect women, men who would love their daughters enough to give them a healthy self-esteem. And it's not just us that need this man. God also need this man to bring the change that we all are crying for. Change here, change there. Hey, do you want God to use only women to change this world? Because we are the only ones ready. So I'm here to tell you as a man to get ready to, because God wants to use you. God used David, God used Samuel, God used Daniel, God used Joseph. God wants to use you to bring change. He wants to make you a man of courage. And I pray and I wish that today you will submit yourself to God to make you courageous. If you're a weak man, if you're the type that gets scared easily, that fear is like your next door neighbor, I advise you, go on your knees and ask God for strength. Go on your knees and ask God for courage as a man, because these days we need real men, so you have to get real. Okay, thank you so much for joining me on Victorious Tales. I hope you would man up wherever you are as a man. Man up. And women, I am coming for you, so get ready. Okay, so see you next time. My name is Oge. Enjoy.
What will